When it comes to skill requirements, Overwatch got us all covered, from people who are absolute ass at shooting things to those who preferably do nothing but that. With a hero cast ranging as wildly as that in Overwatch, we are offered a lot of possibilities. But which heroes offer the best bang for your buck? And by that I don't just mean which heroes are the easiest to play, for they don't require disgusting amounts of mechanical skill. Today we'll talk about my personal top 5 heroes that offer the most value acts for any given amount of skill. Why? I will be trying to keep things in mind that includes something like how easy it is to mess up with them, how much skill you need to provide any value out of them at all, and I will be trying to cover different levels of mechanical base skill. Now without further ado, let's get right into it. Kicking things off with a hero suited for anyone who's never played shooters before but still wants to be useful for their team, Mercy. Mercy is essentially the baseline support that you would imagine when someone talks about the concept of healing. She has been designed in a way that takes away any need for mechanical prowess, and by that allows the player to focus solely on their positioning and game sense. Mercy rewards players that are always aware of what is going on around them, knowing when to best disengage, knowing where to position themselves initially to not get slaughtered by various threats, and by that allows players to focus their attention on learning this baseline skill that is beneficial to every single hero in Overwatch. Mercy is arguably the easiest hero to get value out of. You would pretty much have to go out of your way to be stupid enough to mess up playing her. All you have to do is healing your teammates until you get your ultimate, spot an incoming threat early, find a good spot to hide, and bring the entirety of your team back into the fight by using Resurrection. Pairing up such a game-changing ultimate without any requirements when it comes to mechanical skill makes Mercy the perfect hero to pick up for anyone not familiar with shooters to any capacity. While Mercy enjoys the luxury of largely staying in the back, the next hero on our list sure does like to test your ability to make decisions in hectic situations. For anyone who feels ready to throw themselves into the fight, we got Lucio. Lucio brings a unique skill to the table with his speed boost that gives you the ability to control the pace of the battle. It allows you to quickly engage on the enemies to avoid drawn out battles and choke points, but it is also a great tool when it comes to bringing teammates back into safety. Where our previous pick focuses solely on game sense and positioning, Lucio asks for a bit more than that. Next to also having these skill sets, of course. The ability to occasionally hit people with his sound blaster is always good, as Lucio actually does not an insignificant amount of damage for a support hero. Quick decision making is also fairly important, assessing the situation and deciding how and when you should be using your abilities. Naturally, this is something that every single hero requires. However, with his AoE healing and a projectile based weapon, he does cut the player some slack when it comes to mechanics. That doesn't mean that there isn't anything to master about him, because there certainly is. While there are massive differences between a good Lucio player and someone who just picks him up in need, Lucio is still a very easy hero to get value out of. Usually the biggest danger are your own fuck-ups. So if you are not an experienced Lucio player, don't try to do anything fancy. Stay close to your squishies, focus on healing, engages and disengages, and keep an eye out for a good time to drop the beat. Anything else that makes a truly good Lucio player is something that you will learn over time. The next hero is a great pick for anyone who has played any other shooter before. Naturally, the choice falls on Call of Duty man himself, Soldier 76. To understand why it's relatively easy to get value out of Soldier even though he's a hit scan hero that would suggest pretty good aim to be a requirement, I think it would be good to compare him to McCree. McCree's Peacekeeper only holds 6 bullets, which obviously can't be fired in instant succession. That means that you need to land as many of these 6 shots as possible to get any sort of value out of him. Compared to that, Soldier's magazine of 25 bullets gives you a fair bit more leeway together with being a fully automatic rifle. It doesn't matter if you miss even half your magazine because the other half still does a decent amount of damage. That means that, comparably, rather than having pinpoint accuracy, shooting in the general direction of the enemy is usually enough. Adding to that is his ability to sprint, which for some inexplicable reason no other character in this video game has figured out how to do yet. That means that even if your positioning is not the greatest, you still have the ability to adjust that thanks to his mobility. And obviously, being able to heal yourself is also pretty great. Altogether, Soldier is the hero that I would suggest to players that come into Overwatch with some sort of shooter background. Most of you should find playing him pretty easy, but don't forget that this is a team-based game, so as much as you can go out on your own to do things and stuff as Soldier, at the end of the day, it still requires 6 people to win a match. Next up on the list is D.Va, and I honestly don't think that I really need to go in depth as to why that is, so let's just quickly go through her kit. Most of the value you get out of playing D.Va is her defense matrix. The fact that a simple right click is enough to eat away tons of damage for your team makes her a great value pick, even if you are not too experienced. Her boost allows you to quickly finish off low health enemies that try to disengage, regroup with your team, or jump on enemy players that took high ground positions. And that's really it. Neither of these things are particularly difficult to pull off if you think about it on a basic level. The difficulty comes from knowing when and who to dive. Your ultimate as well as a science on its own. Killing someone with a hugely glowing mech that couldn't be telegraphed any more than it already is not quite easy. However, it is a great tool to make people fuck off of the objective in overtime, so there's that. The last pick for today's video is something that I have really been struggling with. Initially, I wanted to suggest Zenyatta, since projectile-based heroes have the luxury of not needing pinpoint accuracy thanks to the large projectile hitboxes. It's not like you require godlike aim. Discord is an ability that always provides value. Unless you're an idiot that somehow manages to always discord targets that nobody's shooting at, and his ultimate can easily negate a bunch of damage from multiple sources. But last time I suggested that Zenyatta would be a great hero to climb out of low elo, as I have done in the past myself, people have kind of been giving me shit, claiming that he's not as easy to play as I make him out to be. And of course, I could be a little biased in this regard, since I'm not only a support main, but Zenyatta is also one of my most played heroes. And obviously, the amount of value you get out of Zen is tied to how long you stay alive as him, which sometimes is a science on its own. However, I will still say that if you are an experienced player, let's say of diamond rank and above, you will likely not have a lot of trouble getting some sort of value out of Zenyatta, as I honestly don't think he's that difficult to play if you bring just a certain level of base skill. Another hero I wanted to suggest is Pharah, and while I do believe that she's not a very difficult hero to learn, as for any other projectile based hero, it does require a bit of a practice phase to get used to her projectile speed, which getting used to that is vital to you getting value out of her. I mean, even if nobody kills you up in the sky, if you can't land rockets for shit, then that's not gonna help you a whole lot. So in the sense of this video that is more about just picking up a hero to get value out of them without practice, I don't think Pharah really fits the bill. And at this point, some people might wonder, what about Symmetra, Torbjorn, Winston, Reinhardt? All of these heroes don't take any skill, right? Well, wrong. And for another, this video is not about heroes that require the least amount of mechanical skill. Getting value out of Reinhardt and Winston can actually be quite difficult, as it is really easy to play them wrong. And I honestly think that Symmetra and Torbjorn are too niche to provide consistent value for most players. So as cheesy as that might sound, I think I would leave the last pick to whatever you feel most confident on, because even if we are talking about niche picks, if you feel really confident on them, then odds are that you will be able to get some sort of value out of them. And ultimately, I don't want to convey the message that you must be playing the heroes I mentioned in this video. It's more about an emergency backup. At the end of the day, you'll probably still be able to do the most work on heroes that you spend a lot of time on, or heroes you naturally do well on. But if you ever run into situations where that doesn't work and you are afraid that you can't play anything else, I'm pretty sure the previous 4 heroes named in this video will help you to bring some sort of value to your team, even if you're not amazing at them. But this is me done for the day, so I talked about my personal top 5 best value heroes in Overwatch. Thank you everybody so much for watching. Don't forget to drop me a like on your way if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more, and hope to see you all next time.
You're ruining my life, stop.
I have 4 barrage kills.
I have 9 soundbearers.
I have gold evens. I'm better than all of you.
I have significant amounts of disappointment.
I'm a fucking robot cow, so go fuck all yourselves.
Minotaur.
Bro, you win, okay?
I see
you
how
win.
it is.